Hi everyone, it's me, Tim. Today I want to go over Time Walker, a 2001 Troika RPG proposal. This is going to be a special fun Friday. I was going through my archives, don't you mind why, and I found this doc in the bowels of my archive. I don't like that whole bowels thing. What was interesting about this document is, well, there's a couple things. First of all, it was created on July 30th, 2001, which means it was in that narrow period in between when we had created Arcanum and the master CD had been made and was being duplicated and shipped all over the country and actually all over the world, because I remember there was a shipment stuck in a dock in the UK. So it was in that period where we had finished Arcanum but weren't exactly sure what we were doing next, so we were making some design proposals. I found it just in a folder with a lot of other design proposals. But the other interesting thing was it's the only proposal I think I have that's Anderson Kane, because the document was created by Jason Anderson on July 30th. It shows subsequent edits by me, and I read through it, and I'm going to read it to you, and I think I remember what I added. I only have the final version, which basically makes me think, gee, I wish my archiving was better. But this is the only Anderson Kane sort of collaboration that I think I have. I mean, you guys have played Anderson Boyarsky Kane games, Fallout, Arcanum, Bloodlines, and you've even played Boyarsky Kane games, Outer Worlds and Outer Worlds 2. But this would have been Anderson Kane, at least the proposal is. So I wanted to read it to you because I really liked it. It's called Time Walker. High concept. You play a temporal agent who travels through time to make sure certain events take place that will assure his own reality's existence. If your reality becomes less probable, you will gain more fantastic weapons to use, but if you fail, you will cease to exist. Feature bullet. These are great. 1. Visit 15 different time periods. 2. Meet interesting historical figures. 3. Kill them. Here's the world description. Each mission takes place in a different time and place on Earth. You begin each mission with a briefing that provides a main goal and a list of optional sub-goals. Each mission is different. Some may involve assassination of a key historical figure, or a rescue operation for someone important to your timeline, or infiltration and sabotage of a military or scientific installation that is important to your enemy's timeline. These missions can be epic, assassinate the pharaoh Tutankhamun before he reaches adulthood, or thought-provoking, make sure a little girl receives a Barbie doll on her 8th birthday. Or even paradoxical, prevent the invention of time travel science. The system key points were listed as follows. As you play the game, your own reality's probability will rise or drop. If it rises to 100%, the enemy agents wink out of existence and you win. If it drops to 0%, you wink out of existence and you lose. Depending on your current reality probability, your choice of weapons and devices will change. The less probable your reality, the more fantastic and improbable your weapons and gadgets become. For example, at low probabilities, quark ray guns and anti-grav belts will become available, since they are unrealistic devices. At high probability, devices are more realistic, such as machine guns and laser scopes. This system balances the game. As you begin to lose, you have a better selections of weapons and gadgets to choose from, and conversely, as you begin to win, you have a smaller selection. Each mission of the game contains the main goal, which changes the probability by a large amount, and several smaller quests which will change the probability by a smaller amount. You can choose to forego the main quest altogether and do the smaller ones, or you can try to do them all. Each subsequent mission have quests that change the probability by larger amounts, which guarantees the game will eventually end with one side reaching 100%. Each mission has different solutions depending on the skills and equipment you take. After each mission, you have the option to buy up some skills before the next mission, or you can hold on to those skill points to spend later. Skills range from combat skills like rifle and energy gun skills to thieving skills like stealth and lockpicking. The game style, we wrote Time Walker would be an RPG using first-person perspective, similar to Half-Life. And then the closing was Time Walker will show off the graphics capabilities of the Xbox with a wide variety of settings, and it will demonstrate the internet multiplayer features of the Xbox as well. It has an easy learning curve, but a wide variety of items and solutions will invite replay. Okay, that was the entire document. I think there's some really interesting things to comment on in there. I think, first of all, it's interesting that we were already thinking about replayability and multiplayer, which I have no memory of us talking about. Also, the fact that it was going to be on an Xbox, that was interesting. But one thing that really, I focused on my attention was that interesting balance, because as you start to lose, the game gives you more weapon and gadget selection. So in some sense, the game becomes easier when you start to lose and then harder when you start to win, which is why it's hard to get to that 100%, but we make it pretty hard for you to lose too. You will be better equipped when you're not doing as well. It's an interesting balance because a lot of RPGs tend to get easier as you go up a level because you have better skills and better weapons and all these things, so it always just gets easier. This one was designed sort of to be self-balancing, and I thought that was interesting. Anyway, I'm curious what you think of this game. It never happened. Nothing ever went anywhere. I've got a bunch of old design documents like this of ideas we had, that we talked about, that we were thinking about sharing with publishers, that we never actually did anything with. Anyway, another reason I'm really happy I keep archives, and I hope you guys found this to be a very fun Friday video.